Hello, welcome to the Aquarian Mind podcast. Today's podcast episode number 377. I'm your host, Jamel Crothers. It's Motivation and Inspiration Wednesday. And yes, I'm motivated and inspired to return back to my podcast. Deep apologies for just the random hiatus of 2 months nearly? Yeah, I would say that. New job, new adjustments, body always being tired, pinched nerve in my arm, a myriad of other things that have gone on within the past, few weeks. To travel home at the end of May, and my best friend getting married. Now he lives in another state, and a whole lot of other things that are going on. But today I want to delve into following or leading, right? Are you a follower or are you a leader? Starting to notice a lot of followers in this world, of following of the masses of people who are not who they say they are. But anyway, now we've all heard of people who follow and those who lead. So as I discuss this today, I want to ask you, are you following what everyone else is doing, or are you leading the way to prosperity in life? Think about that for a moment. Following would consist of doing what everyone else is doing by settling into a life of monotony, mediocrity, having the same routines, and not having anything to look forward to. Following a trend of making it in corporate America has been the ongoing thing for decades, but have you ever thought of taking the lead in your life and pushing through the grind of achieving greatness? Whatever it is you're worried about, rid yourself of that and focus on what you want. And I think that this blog that I am turning into a podcast is something that I should be following myself. And I only say that because I am in a job for all the wrong reasons. It's survival and all of the other things that come with it, paying bills, things of that nature. Now, are you worried about failing? Because the reality is everyone has experienced it. You're thinking about the long journey. Well, let's just say the most special things that you want out of life, it takes years to build. And I'm in, year 10 of just the journey that I've been on. Yeah, I started in 2015. I published my first book in 2016. Here we are in 2025. So from 2016 to 2024, I went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and self-published 60 books, right? And for the past 5 years, I've been doing this podcast on and off, love, hate type of thing, because it takes a lot of time and a lot of energy to sit and, make time for recording podcasts, even though my podcasts aren't that long. But anyway, I don't really have a fear of failing. So the question is, are you fearing failure and you'd rather not lead yourself to where you want to be in life, and you'd rather just follow the masses of working in corporate America for 40 years of your life, saving enough money, and when you retire, you have just enough money just to survive off of what you've worked for all this time? It's bad enough we're getting jacked for our taxes, and we get taxed for every single thing. And when you buy expensive things, sometimes you get taxed even heavier. Now, taking the lead of your life is scary. I'll admit it's been scary for me for the past few years. I'll admit that. And sometimes you don't know what will happen. There's all of the uncertainties of what can and will happen. But don't we live the majority of our lives in uncertainty? Every day is different. So why wouldn't you say, hey, I want to do better for myself and my family? You can be the first in your family to do something that no one else has done. I've accomplished a few feats that no one in my family has ever done. And having a podcast and self-publishing books and writing poetry and being published in magazines and, all of these things that a lot of my family members have never done or achieved. And I have a cousin who has her own gifts and talents of making clothes, right? So she's accomplished certain feats that no one else in our family has done, right? she graduated college, I graduated college, and maybe there's a handful of us on my mom's side that is like fully went to college and gotten a degree. So we're kind of the generation, the 80s babies, we're kind of the generation that's kind of pushed our own narratives a little bit. So what I'm trying to say is you can be the one in your family who everyone looks up to, the one that everyone is inspired by, and they think, if he or she can do this, then why can I? It's not necessarily leading in corporate America, but within the confines of those closest to you, right? We all want to get that leadership position in corporate America. Well, not everyone, but let's just say a certain percentage of people. And that's their thing, right? Like everyone wants to have that power and authority, and things of that nature. Some people are on power trips. Some people, they want to have a career and they're great at what they do and they feel that leadership is part of it. And that's okay. That's fine too. What I will say is don't follow what everyone else is doing. It's like those pictures that you see on social media sometimes, or the GIFs, where it's people who are standing literally on one side for just like one specific thing, and then there's that other thing that you could do, but you choose not to because you're basically following what everyone else is doing. I've noticed that a lot of people want to be like other people. No one wants to really be themselves. A lot of people don't want to be unique. No one wants to carve their own path and their own journey and do things their way. Everyone wants to follow what everyone else is doing, or everyone wants to be financially rich as everyone else. Like, the business people, the celebrities, the athletes, the movie stars, all that stuff. No one ever wants to really say to themselves, I want to carve my own path. It's pretty ironic that it's shifting a little bit. I am starting to see a lot of things from a different perspective based off of my job and what I'm doing currently. I won't go into all the details, but let's just say some people are controlling their own destiny in some ways and owning their own businesses, which is a great thing. You have to take a leap of faith, and you've got to really go after what you want. And if you were to start on this journey now, you never know where your life will take you. And even your friends may be inspired and motivated to want the life that you're going after. So you can motivate and push other people to do great things. And that's really what taking the lead is about. It's about taking ownership of your life. It's about taking accountability for the choices and decisions that you've made. And some good, some bad. And I'll admit, I've made some pretty bonehead decisions in my life. But if I didn't make those bonehead decisions and also make the good ones, I'm not here right now. And I always sit and reflect on those things sometimes. And sometimes you do need to take a moment and reflect on your life and where you've come and where you are currently. And it's not the end all be all of where you are now. And I'll sit here and admit, am I going to be at my current job forever? Probably not. I'm keeping my options open for what may come my way. I'm a writer, I'm a podcaster, I'm a content creator, and that's what I'm meant to do with my life. I'm not meant to do the 8 to 5 grind every day and work 40 hours and do all that, do the same monotonous work over and over again. Now, there's nothing wrong with corporate America if you're good at what you do, you enjoy what you do, and you're at a good company. Now, that's kind of few and far in between. I always utilize life as an 80-20 rule. So I would honestly say 80% of people are doing things that they don't want to do with their lives, and they're working jobs that they don't want to, and it's either to survive or it's to live a certain lifestyle. Now there's the other 20% who are actually enjoying their lives and enjoying what they do for their careers. And there's a big difference between jobs and careers. And I will admit, I've had jobs the majority of my life. And I will say that my writing journey and all of the things that I've done has been career driven for me in a way. So I don't want to be stuck at this job forever. I don't want to be stuck at this job too long. Let's just admit that. I do go in, I do my work, I do everything the right way, and follow the rules and guidelines of what goes on at my company and in my department. But I'm not there for the right reasons, and I'm not looking to move up within corporate America within that company specifically. But I will say, if I'm looking to have a career, it would have to be in writing, and it would have to be in podcasting. So my question to you is what would you want your career to be? Or are you doing something now and you want to shift into another career that you have a passion for? I have seen so many stories of people who are doing corporate America things but have other aspirations, and they decide to walk away from the corporate America thing and go do something that they really are passionate for. And I know a friend who did do that. She walked away from an information technology job that was paying her a ton of money, but that wasn't her passion. She did it for the wrong reasons. She did it for the family and what they wanted and expected of her. And it wasn't what she wanted to do. And now she's living her purpose. And that's what I want for all of you. I want you to find your purpose, and I want you to live it. And for me, my purpose is to get you to think about these things. And that's why I do have this podcast. And that's why I do have different forms of content. Some of you are going to listen to the Mondays with Mello. Some of you are going to listen to the Motivation Inspiration, which I'm doing currently. And some of you guys are going to listen to the podcast of my writing journey and my books. And then there's some of you that listen to all of it. And that's a beautiful thing. Whatever you choose to listen to, I appreciate you. I appreciate you for listening. And I want you to know that you get to control your narrative a little bit. So if you have time, you can figure it out. And if you have eyes to open and a heart beating and blood flow and you're breathing and you have all your extremities and you can walk and talk and do all the things that you need in life, you have time. You have time. And that's my podcast for today. I thank you for listening. As always, be good and go accomplish your goals. But before I end it, my podcast website, theaquarianmindpodcast.com. Remember that website. Go to it. You can find every single podcast episode. It's all categorized, and you can listen to whatever episode you want instead of scrolling and having to find them on all the other platforms that I'm on. So keep that in mind. Enjoy your week. Next week is Book Insight Friday. I'm doing the alternate weeks, so stay tuned for that. And remember, you have time.